Hello and welcome back to the Cracking FAANG YouTube channel. Today we're going to be solving Leetcode problem number 23, merge k-sorted lists. Before we do, I just want to ask if you're enjoying the content, please leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and a subscription really helps the channel grow. Alright, you are given an array of k linked lists. Each linked list is sorted in ascending order. Merge all the linked lists into one sorted linked list and return it. So let's look at a very basic example where we have the three lists here, right? 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, and 6. So let's kind of just visualize how we might do this. So obviously we want to sort this and keep it in ascending order. So, we have two 1s here, which is the smallest element. And then we have how many 2s? So there's 1, 2. Do we have any 3s? Yeah, we have a 3. Do we have a 4? Yeah, we do. Do we have a 5? Yeah, we do. Actually, we have 2 4s, sorry. And then we have a 5, and then we also have a 6. And there you go. There's your sorted linked list. So obviously doing it like this is really simple, but we can't just write it out by hand. We actually have to write an algorithm. So the simplest way to do this would actually be to just extract all of the elements because they're linked lists, right? These aren't actual lists. So we would actually transform them to lists. So 1, 4, 5, and then we have 1, 3, 4, and then we have 2, 6, right? And what we can do is actually just concatenate all of these together. So we could say 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 6. And then what we could do is we could sort this to get it in the correct order. So we'd get 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. And then we would make a linked list. So this works, and it's going to be n log n time because of the sort. For the space complexity, you're going to need big O of n because you need to make the list. Sorting also takes big O of n, and then you have to return a new linked list, and that's also going to be big O of n. But if you do this, you're not going to pass the interview. This is not what they're looking for. This is the naive solution, so definitely don't do this. But this is one approach where if you're struggling to come up with something, this is at least the most basic way to solve it. Now, let's actually think about what the kind of optimal way to do it is. And ideally, we can achieve still some sort of like logarithmic time in actually combining them, but can we actually do it without any extra space? So what we're gonna do is we are essentially gonna have our lists, right? And what we're gonna do is we're going to actually merge pairwise lists. So we're gonna merge these two together, and this one actually, since we have an odd number, this one doesn't get merged yet. So we would merge these two into one list. So this would look like 1, 1, 3, 4, 4, 5, and then that would be the new merged list, and then we'd have 2, 6, and then what we can do now is actually merge this one down into our final solution. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and that would be the final solution. So why do we want to do it this way? Well, if we merge the linked lists as linked lists, then we actually get big O of 1 space complexity because we don't create any extra space. So we need to merge the linked lists as they are to get that big O of 1 space complexity because we don't actually create new nodes. We're just appending nodes. So we have this merge here, and we obviously are going to do this, a certain amount of times. So what's going to happen here is that because we're actually merging 2 at a time, and if we had another one, let's say it was like 6, 8 here that we had to merge, since we're doing 2 at a time, we're actually cutting down our space by 2 every single time. So what this actually means in the end is that, we would be essentially having a log k merge time, because we cut down the solution, so it's basically log base 2 of k, where k is the number of linked lists we want to make, or that we have. So since we're cutting it down by 2 every time, it's actually log base 2 of k. And remember that merging 2 linked lists is going to take big O of n time, right? So that means that our final time complexity would be big O of n log k. and our space complexity would actually be constant because we're doing the linked list merging in place. So hopefully that makes sense, right? So we have lists here and we merge them in pairs. So therefore, at each iteration of our merging, we have, half the number of inputs that we need to merge every single time, right? So if we had 8 in the beginning, then we have to do 4 and then 2, right? And same thing, if we had 16 or 32, basically we're cutting it down in half each time, right? And because we cut it down by half, that's actually going to be a log base 2 operation. And then there's obviously k total lists we need to merge. So the time complexity is going to be, or the amount of merges we need to do is log k, and then obviously it takes big O of n to actually merge them. So that's where we get n log k from. Obviously doing a linked list merge in place, if you remember from the easy Leetcode question on this, is going to be constant space, and that's where we get this optimal time and space complexity. So hopefully that makes sense. Implementing this is a little bit tricky. It's a bit annoying just because the way that you actually have to implement it, even though you're merging them, you'll see in a second what it means. There are some kind of tricks you need to do to actually get the merges down, but this is just the general intuition. We'll go over how to actually implement it in a second because it is a little bit complicated, and I think it's easier to just see it in code. So I'll see you in the code editor. Let's type this one up, and hopefully all the confusion should go away if there is any. So I actually lied. We're going to look at one final diagram here just to understand how the actual merging happens in case it wasn't clear. So let's look at this list of linked lists. So basically we have 6 lists here, right? So what we want to do is we want to merge them in pairs, right? So we essentially take list 0 and list 1 and merge it into one. List 2 and list 3, merge it into one. List 4 and list 5 and merge it into one. Now, it's important to realize that our original input is given to us as a list where we have like linked list 0, linked list 1, linked list 2, on and on and on, right? What you need to realize is that when this merging happens between, say, linked list 1 and linked list 0, is that we don't actually get rid of any of these linked lists. We're actually merging them into linked list 0. So our original input array will actually not shrink, even though, the actual work that we need to do shrinks by half each time. This original list won't actually shrink, which is important because we're going to need to actually move some pointers to actually figure out which lists we need to merge. So when we do the merging, we always merge. So if we have a pair of, lists that we need to merge, we're always going to merge the second one into the first one, such that that first one always becomes the bigger one, right? We always merge 3 into 2, 4 into 5, 1 into 0, right? And then we can do the same thing right here. So when we have 0 and 2, we want to merge, 2 into 0, and then we're going to be left with 0. And at the end, list the first item in the original list will actually be the linked list with everything merged into it. So that's one thing that's important. And it's important to realize that, like I said, in this list, we're modifying the original input here. So even though it doesn't show like list 1 is here, actually in the original input, it's still technically there, right? Just because we've merged it didn't mean it just got deleted. It's still in the list, but we're not actually considering it anymore. So every time we merge, notice how the interval between merges is 1 in the beginning, right? It's always a difference of 1. And now when we go to the second iteration of merging, it's actually going to be a difference of what? So to go from index 0 to index 2 is actually going to be a difference of 2, right? Same thing from 2 to 4. So every time you actually increase the distance here, or sorry, you merge, you actually need to increase the distance of the index that you're looking at, right? So here we want to merge 0 with 4, and if we had more things, we'd merge from 5 up until 9, right? So every time you need to increase the interval to actually find the list. And the reason we do this is, remember that these lists that got merged previously, they don't get deleted from the original list, but we still need to access the correct index of the list that was previously merged. So hopefully you understand this part because it's crucial to the actual problem. And understanding how you need to basically move your interval, basically the gap between the actual list that you need to merge changes each time that you merge, right? It's also going to increase, right? So it starts at 1, and then it doubles to 2, and then it goes to 4, 8, 16, 32, and on however many lists you have. So you need to actually keep that in mind, and we'll see that in the solution. So I just wanted to add this little extra portion just because I know that in the coding, if I didn't really talk about this beforehand, it might be confusing. So hopefully you guys appreciate this. Now let's actually go to the code editor and type this up. It should be a lot clearer. Now we're ready to actually do the merging. So the first thing that we need to do is, if our lists is given to us as an empty list, we don't have anything to merge, so we can simply return none, right? So we're going to say if not lists, then we just want to return none here because there's nothing for us to merge. Now remember that we need to keep track of the interval here, right? And I told you the interval starts at 1 because we're going to be merging pairwise lists in the beginning, and then remember it increases to 2 after the first merge, and then 4, 8, 16, and onwards. So the interval will start at 1. And if this doesn't make sense, please go back to the diagram and look at the illustration, and actually walking through the code might help you understand it. So the interval starts at 1, and basically we want to go until the interval is while the interval is less than the length of the list, right? If the interval gets so large that it's actually spanning over the entirety of the list, then there's no way we could actually get 2 possible lists. So that's when we know to stop. So we're going to say while interval is actually less than the length of lists, then we have to keep going. So we're going to say for I in range from 0 to the length of the lists minus the interval, interval times 2. So let's explain this part. So what we want to do is we want to merge every pairwise interval, right? So we start at interval 0, and we basically go until the length of the list minus the interval, right? That is the stopping point for where we want to go. And every time we're actually jumping interval times 2, because remember, we need to, once we merge, let's kind of think about this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the reason that we have it set up this way is obviously we start with an interval of 1, and we're going to merge 1 and 2 together, right? So this will then become into 1. But now, if we were to simply increase the interval by whatever the interval is, which is 1, then our next value would actually be 2, but we already merged it. So that's why we need to skip over this value, which is why we have interval times 2. So we now go to 3, and then we merge the one next to it. So now 3 and 4 would get merged into whatever that is. And then we do the same thing, right? If we were to go to 4 next, we've already merged 4 with 3. So we need to skip over 4 and now go to 5. All right, so we'd merge 5 and 6 into 1, and then the same thing, right? We don't want to merge 6 into 7 because we already merged it into 5. So we just need to merge 7 and 8 together, and there we go. And obviously we want to go to length of lists minus the interval because we don't want to overshoot our bounds here because we're actually jumping by 2 each time. So hopefully that makes sense. That is essentially how we're going to define the kind of which ones we need to merge at our current iteration. So we have our for loop, and what we're going to do is we're going to say lists of I is going to be self.merge, and we'll write that function in a second, where we're basically going to pass lists of I, and we're going to pass lists of I plus the interval, right? Because remember, the interval basically tells us the gap between 2 lists, and those are the 2 that we need to merge, right? I and I plus whatever the interval is. When the interval is 1, it's just going to be the next index over. When we've already merged it once, interval will become 2, so we now need to look 2 indexes to the right of where we are to merge them. So hopefully that makes sense. At the end of this for loop, what we need to do is we need to double our interval now, because we need to basically, we've cut down the number of lists by 2, but remember, we're just reassigning lists of I to whatever the merge of lists of I and lists of I plus interval is. This right interval doesn't get deleted, so that's why we need to be skipping over things as we go, because the original lists is not going to get deleted. We're basically just merging things into that left interval that we merge into. So that is why we need to now skip over things that have been previously merged. And again, this is where understanding the diagram is crucial here to understand why we do this and how it works. So if you don't get this part, please go back to the diagram because it really shows it pretty much clearly why we do this. So at the end, as we saw in the diagram, everything actually gets merged into the lists of 0, right? We always start with the 0th, and essentially everything will get merged down into it. So all we need to do at the end is simply return lists of 0. And that is the actual logic for the merging. Now let's actually define the logic to just merge two linked lists. So we're going to say def merge self, and this is going to take list 1 and list 2. And this part we can basically just copy from the merge linked list problem. This part, it's not too important how we do this. So we're going to say if not list 1, obviously there's nothing to merge, so we return list 2. If list 2 is not existent, then if not L2, we just return L1. Otherwise, what we want to do is we just want to merge them. So we're going to say if L1's value is actually less than or equal to L2.val, remember that we need to maintain the sorted order. So if the value in list 1 is actually less than the current value of list 2, then we want to add, so we want to say L1.next is going to be the merge between the next value of L1 and that current value of L2. So L2. If this is confusing, go review your merge linked list question where you'll essentially do this. And then we just want to return L1 here. And then otherwise, we just want to say L2.next is going to equal to self.merge between L1 and L2.next. So remember, we always want to merge into L1. Otherwise, the logic that we set up here won't work. So whenever you have two intervals, you always merge the second one into the first one. And ideally, we return this second one here. So okay, so that is the merge function. This is pretty standard merging of two linked lists. Let's now run this, make sure I didn't make any stupid syntax mistakes. And wrong answer. What happened? Let me double check this. What happened? Okay. Interval equals 1, range 0, length of lists minus interval times 2, lists of I, merge 2, lists of I plus interval multiplied by 2. Let's see, merge 2, did I screw this part up? L if not L2, return L1, if L1.val, L2.val, L1.next. Interesting, return, of course, I didn't return L2 here. Whoops, sorry about that, I might cut that out. Anyway, whoops, that is definitely why that didn't run. Okay, cool, there we go. Yeah, you should probably return your value from your function there. Okay, cool, so as we can see, it was accepted, no problems there. Other than that stupid bug I just made, but whatever, we'll ignore that. Time complexity. So like we talked about in the explanation, obviously there are, to merge a linked list is going to take n time. And because we are merging them in pairs each time, we essentially cut down the amount of merges we need to do by 2 every single time. So this is actually going to be log. And then obviously there's k linked lists. So it is n log k for the merging portion, and then the space complexity. The merge function does not actually use any extra space. We do this in place, so it's going to just take big O of 1 time. So this is the absolute most optimal solution. This is the best way to solve it. This is most likely what your interviewer is looking for, especially on this constant space here and the nice runtime complexity. So that is how you solve merge k sorted lists. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving it a like in the comment. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join a Discord community where we talk about all things FAANG, interview prep, systems design, you can have your resume reviewed by me, you can ask me random questions. If that sounds interesting to you, join the Discord. I'll leave a link in the description below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.